Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your news and rumors video on Sunday, April 19th, 2020. A weird, wacky week of pro wrestling. A very sad week in pro wrestling. Not a very good week in the world of pro wrestling, I should say. Probably the worst week of the entire year. The shows went the best. Raw, AEW, SmackDown were not the best shows this week. I did not watch NXT this week. We had all the releases come on Wednesday. The WWE main roster talent being released and let go of their jobs. NXT talent actually got released before SmackDown, and that's one of the topics we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the NXT talents being released, and then the unfortunate passing of Howard Finkel, which there's reports by sources that the entire WWE crew was heartbroken to hear about the passing of Howard Finkel, because he was loved by much people, and I loved him as well. So rest in peace, Howard Finkel. But today, to cap off this bad week, I guess you could say, sad week of pro wrestling, we got news and rumors. We got 3 topics to dive into today. Like I said earlier, we're going to talk about all the NXT releases. I was going to talk about the gimmick that the Revival were going to get before they were released, and I was just like, I don't even want to bother with it. So don't feel like ranting. If I did talk about it in this video, I'd be ranting for a very long time, because my God. You want to make tag team wrestling a joke? They would have given this cringe fest gimmick to the Revival as a sort of punishment that they didn't sign new deals. So, petty Vince McMahon at it again. So, it's not in the video today. We got the NXT releases. We got WWE changing they're changing their schedule again. They were going tape, and then they were going live, and now they're going tape again. And we got the entire schedule that WWE has set out to Pro Wrestling Sheet. We got the entire schedule that we will break down in my thoughts on WWE doing tape shows again. And the big main event topic for today, we're going to talk about everything changing around Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank will be at the WWE headquarters. So, without further ado, let's get ready with the news. Alright, so the first topic that I got for you guys today is the NXT releases that I brought up earlier. Friday before SmackDown around 7 p.m., there was more releases in the WWE that were reported, and I'm about to read off the list right now of NXT talent that got released. And I also forgot a part on Thursday's video when I talked about the first talents that got released, and I want to bring it up here. So, without further ado, here are your NXT releases. Cesar Bononi, Deonna Purrazzo, who was released on Wednesday, Doreen Mack, Cassius Ohno, Leo Rush, MJ Jenkins, Tainara Conti, Tino Sabatello, NXT Developmental, who is just training at the Performance Center, Alexander Jeksic, Alyssa Marino, Agar Lopez, Faisal Cardi, Husan Aldago. I'm really sorry if I mispronounce these names. I don't really know much of these guys. Marcos Gomez, Mars Wang, Mohammed Abdeldefate, I'm trying to pronounce these names. Nick Algarilli and Yifeng, known as Rocky. So those were your NXT Performance Center trainee releases. First off, the first thing I'm going to say is I feel really bad for the NXT developmental guys who were training at the Performance Center that got released. They did not even get television time on an NXT or a 205 Live or a NXT UK. None of them got television time. They're just, it's like WWE signed them to a contract to just train at the Performance Center. And I'm sure that they had to shut down training because they were filming shows at the Performance Center. So that's very, very unfortunate for the guys and ladies who got fired from the WWE. And, they don't even get to make a name for themselves, because they were never on TV. And it just sucks that you come into the Performance Center before all of this outbreak stuff happened. You come into the Performance Center every day, you work your ass off, you train your ass off, you study film, you go in the next day, you work your ass off again, and it's repeating and repeating. And then you get fired. It just sucks that you work so hard to do what you want to do with the company that you want, and you get fired. It just sucks. It's got a bad feeling. Now, that's that. One of the NXT releases that was thrown around for a few days now before he got released was Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno on Thursday, I believe, was thrown around. He was on the WWE alumni list. He was not on the NXT UK roster brand. He did not have the NXT UK logo next to his name. And he was a guy being thrown around that, did he get released or did he get fired? I have no idea. But it was reported on Friday by the Wrestling Observer that Cassius Ohno was indeed released from the WWE. It sucks because he is really underrated at what he does. People don't give him credit for what he did for NXT. He came back for a while, and he was in the position that he was the put-over guy. He would always be putting others over, like the Velveteen Dream, Lars Sullivan, Matt Riddle, EC3, others. I think No Way Jose was one of them. I'm not really sure, but Cassius Ohno put on great matches in NXT, and he was always putting someone else over. He was never the one who would be getting put over. He would always be losing matches and losing matches and losing matches and losing matches. Rinse and repeat. Sucks, but hey, he's free now. He's got a 30-day no compete clause. When this is over, if I'm AEW, I'm getting Cassius Ohno and making him name Chris Hero. This dude is very underrated. He's really good at what he does, and if he doesn't want to wrestle, then he can be a trainer or a coach. He could be a coach for AEW. I think he'd be really good as a trainer or a coach for AEW when everything gets back together and they do have interest in Cassius Ohno. Something that I did not mention on the Thursday video that I'm going to mention now. I still feel bad for the talent that got released on Wednesday because now they're jobless during the virus pandemic and they're not being paid, and Lord knows how long they're going to go out without payment. So, but one thing is for sure, I talked to Eddie a lot on Wednesday. Eddie from the Big Fight Field channel right here, and he said one thing. Yes, he feels bad for the talent leaving the WWE, but these men and women are very talented, and this is not the end of their careers. They're going to find jobs. They're not bench warmers like they were in WWE. They are very talented men and women, and they're going to find jobs and they're going to find success out in the WWE. And I was like, I totally agree with that. I 100% agree with that. And then Jim Ross tweeted out that he feels bad for the men and women that got released, but you gotta look at it on the bright side. This is a new start to your career. This could be a new path to what happens in your pro wrestling career. And he's absolutely right. Jim Ross is absolutely right. Eddie is absolutely right. This is not the end of their careers. They're going to find success in outside of WWE. Yes, I feel bad for the men and women that got released, but let's be honest, people. WWE wasn't doing anything for Heath Slater. WWE wasn't doing anything for No Way Jose. WWE wasn't doing anything for Kurt Hawkins or Zack Ryder or Sarah Logan. They were looked at as jobbers. And they were stepping stones. I watched a video that Heath Slater posted this week, and yeah, he's upset that he got released. But when he said, "I'm now free, I can flap my wings and fly and be free," that put a huge smile onto my face, because that man. And then he goes on to say that he's going to work hard. He's going to get in the best shape of his life, and he's going to make a lot of people notice who Heath Miller really is. And that puts a huge smile on my face, because that's not somebody who is just going to moan and quit. Heath Slater's a worker, and Heath Slater can go to Impact Wrestling or a New Japan Pro Wrestling or an AEW or an NWA and show us how good he is. We never really got to see how good Heath Slater was. We never really got to see how good No Way Jose was. We really didn't get to see how good Sarah Logan was. These men and women can prove how good they really are. How good they are. And how WWE dropped the ball on them. I just wanted to mention that. I think I didn't mention that on Thursday's video, so I wanted to mention it here. So last week's main event topic for the news and rumors, I talked about that WWE was doing live shows for the foreseeable future, and I did not like that at all. It was very risky. It was a business decision, I understand, but it was very risky for the sake of the talent and not being home with their families. Now the plans have changed again, as we have a brand new taping schedule for the WWE, and this goes out for a very long time. This came out on Friday night by Pro Wrestling Sheet, and I wrote down the article, and I'm about to read it off to you guys right now. So here we go. Pro Wrestling Sheet has learned WWE is making a big adjustment to their filming schedule in an effort to increase the level of safety for performance amidst of COVID-19 pandemic. As you recall, WWE returned to television shows from the Performance Center this week after Governor of Florida allowed sports and entertainment properties to resume producing events in the state as long as there are no fans in attendance. I actually saw an article on this past weekend, I think it was yesterday, that the beaches in Jacksonville were opened again, and it was very packed. It had like thousands, hundreds, maybe even thousands of people on the beach, and it looked absolutely ridiculous with everything that's happening right now. It's very stupid how they allowed people to go back on beaches again and not social distancing. Very, very stupid for the governor of Florida to do that, I think. Now, however, the company is making another change to how things will be filmed for the next few months at the WWE PC. In an effort to the performers travel as little as possible, the filming schedule going forward will be as followed. April 20th, Raw will air on Monday live as scheduled on the USA Network. April 22nd, NXT will air on Wednesday live as scheduled on the USA Network. Friday, April 24th, SmackDown will air on Friday live as scheduled on Fox. So everything, your three regular shows this week, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, are all live shows. Saturday, April 25th, SmackDown will tape 2 episodes airing on May 1st and May 8th. Monday, April 27th, 2 episodes of Raw will be taped, one for that night, the other for May 4th. April 29th, 2 episodes of NXT will be taped, one for that night, the other on May 6th. And then they go back on May 11th. 1 episode of Raw will be taped for that night, and 1 episode of SmackDown will be taped for May 15th. May 12th, 1 episode of Raw will be taped for May 18th, and 1 episode of SmackDown will be taped for May 22nd. May 13th, 2 episodes of NXT will be taped, one for that night, and the other for May 20th. May 25th, 2 episodes of Raw will be taped, one for that night and one for June 1st. May 26th, 2 episodes of SmackDown will be taped, one on May 29th and the other on June 5th. Wednesday, May 27th, 2 episodes of NXT will be taped, one for that night, the other for June 3rd. June 8th, 1 episode of Raw will be taped for that night, and 1 episode of SmackDown will be taped for June 12th. The list keeps going on, guys. June 9th, 1 episode of NXT will be taped for June 10th. Moving on to the next page I got here. June 15th, 1 episode of Raw will be taped for that night, and 1 episode of SmackDown will be taped for June 19th. June 16th, 1 episode of Raw will be taped for June 22nd, and 1 episode of SmackDown will be taped for June 26th. June 17th, 2 episodes of NXT will be taped, one for that night and the other for June 24th. June 29th, 2 episodes of Raw will be taped, one for that night, the other for July 6th. June 30th, 2 episodes of SmackDown will be taped, one for July 3rd, the other for July 10th. And finally, July 1st, 2 episodes of NXT will be taped, one for that night, the other for July 8th. So they're going to be taping up everything. It seems like you got the taping schedule up until July 8th, which is about 2.5 months from now. I can honestly see the same thing happen once this shift of tapings is done for up until July 8th. I see another shift of tapings happening like that for the future. Now, I like this decision. I'm gonna tell you why. I like this decision because it gets the performers, most importantly, it gets them home with their families before they have to go out back on the road and tape for a week. So more importantly, it gets the wrestlers home with their families during the coronavirus. And this is Vince McMahon making up to the wrestlers because the wrestlers did not like that they were going with live shows whatsoever. They hated that idea, actually. Um, they were miserable over that idea. So, in my opinion, this is Vince McMahon making up his wrongs to the company, that he did a wrong for going live. And he wanted to erase that wrong and have this taped out schedule for for the wrestlers. And he's probably like, I get it. You guys want to see your families. You want to be with your families during the pandemic. But we are a millionaire, a multi-billionaire company. We are the top wrestling company in the world. And we need to work. We got to give people entertainment. So you're going to shut up. I'm going to give you the tape schedule. We're going to tape. We're not going to go live. And you're going to do as what I say. That's what I think happened. He erased his wrong, and he allowed tape shows for the better of the company, the better of the wrestlers, and it's better overall in my opinion. And this dives into the next topic I'm going to talk about. WWE is taping shows before Money in the Bank. I'll talk about this in the main event topic or just everything surrounding Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank apparently got taped this week. So it's very weird how they taped Money in the Bank and the build-up hasn't been taped yet. So that is very interesting in my opinion. We shall see how that goes. So without further ado, let's talk about the main event topic of the week. Let's dive right into this, man. Got everything I got written down for Money in the Bank, and then as usual, I'll give you guys my thoughts and get out of here. WWE has reportedly filmed content for the upcoming Money in the Bank pay-per-view from their home base of Stamford, Connecticut. It was reported by PW Insider that content for Money in the Bank was filmed at WWE headquarters in Stamford earlier this week. There's no word yet if the content was filmed at both the main WWE building and the TV studios, but it was noted that filming took place at company headquarters. That article came from Wrestling Inc. So it appears that WWE has filmed content already for Money in the Bank, and they're filming at the headquarters, which was announced on SmackDown this week. According to Fightful Select, additionally, backstage news regarding the WWE taping and footage for their Money in the Bank has surfaced online. The men's and women's ladder matches will be held at the corporate offices in Stamford, Connecticut. WWE flew out talent in Stamford on Tuesday, and multiple matches were filmed at Stamford, Connecticut for Money in the Bank. So they already knew the entire card for Money in the Bank. I'm guessing after WrestleMania, they knew what their card was going to be for Money in the Bank. So they already had a game plan in mind, which I like immediately. I like that a lot. It started early morning and it went all the way until nearly midnight on Tuesday. There was also a lot of hurry up and wait for shots to be set up. Matches were also filmed in a cinematic manner. So that comes from Fightful Select. Now, you got to give Vince McMahon and you got to give the higher ups their credit. They're trying, at least. They're trying to give us something different, something we haven't seen, and we've never seen this type of Money in the Bank ladder match before. And Michael Cole and Corey Graves have said it on Friday night that this could be the most unique ladder match of all time. Superstars will have to climb the corporate ladder. They will start at the ground floor of WWE headquarters and make their way all the way up to the roof. Now, if you haven't seen the online leaked pictures, I'm sure you can look it up on Google. Just look up Money in the Bank, go to images, and I'm sure it's there. I'm sure it's there. Or you can look at Twitter if you want. They have a ring on the top roof of the headquarters, and it looks like they have a stage built up there too, and the Money in the Bank briefcase is going to be hanging up from there. Now, with it being up on top of the roof and the superstars climbing the ladder, could you imagine the visual of, say, Aleister Black holding up the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then in the background you got the entire city of Connecticut, and you got I-95, and you got cars coming? That's going to look freaking badass. That's going to look really good if they get a shot like that. Now, it looks like the matches for the men's and women's ladder matches could be cinematic. Now, I imagine that they're going to film this like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, or the Boneyard match. They're going to film it like that, and that'd be pretty cool. And it could be cool seeing them fight all over the headquarters, breaking glass, breaking tables, going into Vince McMahon's office and destroying Vince McMahon's office. That would be really, really cool, in my opinion, to see all of that happen in this ladder match. Will WWE screw up and make this entire thing a disaster? I hope not. I hope not. But for now, I'm going into this very positively. I've got to say this is good. It's something different. They're trying to give us something. It shows that they were long-term booking, but according to WWE, their long-term booking is like 3 to 4 weeks, when in reality, long-term booking is like 4 months. Like, they should know what they need, that what the card is going to be for SummerSlam. They should know that already. But I like how they have the long-term booking out already. They already knew what they're going to do. And it already says that they already know who's going to win the matches. So it could be, like I said earlier, it could be weird that they filmed Money in the Bank already, but they haven't filmed the build-up. We got this week. We got last week with the women's qualifiers and Daniel Bryan qualifying and Dana Brooke qualifying and Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman being set up for Money in the Bank. I don't know how that's going to go, if they're going to be wrestling in the ring on top of the headquarters. I have no idea. I have no idea how this is all going to go. Hopefully it's in a unique manner. It's in a cool way. It's not cringy and filmed weird. As long as it's good. I don't mind the ladder matches being cinematic. I really don't. It could be the good that WWE needs. So I'm going into this very positively. And we'll see what kind of matches are happening at the Money in the Bank, as we got 3 more weeks of build until the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. That's going to do it for this week's news and rumors video. I want to thank you guys all for watching this video. If you haven't already, subscribe right here on the Big Fight Fuel channel. Comment down below what you think of the NXT releases. What do you think of the new WWE taping schedule? And what do you think of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view being filmed at WWE headquarters, and possibly the ladder matches being cinematic? I want to know all your thoughts on that. Like this video with a super kick. You can follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And you can follow me on Instagram at Colin_Joseph. And follow Eddie on Twitter as well at Eddie Mullins 515. Guys, I'm getting out of here. This was a rough week of pro wrestling, man. This was a rough week. Hopefully things get better next week. Hopefully things will be more relaxed and we'll get solid shows. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'll be back right here tomorrow night for your Monday Night Raw review right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Have a good night, guys, and stay safe.